A haunting figure looms in the shadows, his face twisted into an unnatural grin that stretches far too wide, revealing something deeply wrong beneath the surface. His skin is deathly pale, almost ghost-like, amplifying the eerie void where his eyes should be. Instead, a hollow darkness stares back, an abyss that seems to consume all light. Thick, black-framed glasses rest on the bridge of his nose, their rounded lenses giving him an air of cold, calculated menace. The surrounding atmosphere is drenched in unease, the dim lighting and deep shadows heightening the oppressive sense of dread. Every detail of his form, sharp angles, gaunt features, and that dreadful, knowing smirk, draws the viewer in, a warning unspoken but undeniable. SCP-4885, commonly referred to as Waldo or Find Him, is an anomalous humanoid entity resembling the well-known character from the Where's Waldo? Children's puzzle books. However, unlike its innocent counterpart, SCP-4885 is a nightmarish being capable of bending reality and perception in disturbing ways. It is not merely something to be found, it is something that finds you. Behavior and anomalous properties. SCP-4885 manifests unpredictably, most commonly appearing in densely populated or chaotic environments, city streets, crowded train stations, amusement parks, protests, and even large-scale disasters. The entity does not seek attention. Rather, it blends into the background, subtly embedding itself within the fabric of its surroundings. At first glance, it is indistinguishable from a normal human, clad in the familiar red and white striped shirt, round glasses, and woolen hat. However, those who attempt to locate SCP-4885 soon experience a profound shift in perception. Witnesses describe a growing sense of unease, an unnatural stillness in the air despite the surrounding commotion. Many report feeling watched, as if unseen eyes are tracking their every movement. Some become disoriented, their vision flickering between moments, objects shifting ever so slightly out of place when not directly observed. Others develop headaches, nausea, or an overwhelming sense of paranoia, as though reality itself is conspiring against them. The true horror begins when someone successfully identifies SCP-4885's location. If an individual manages to make direct eye contact with the entity, or even acknowledges its presence verbally, it reacts immediately. Those in close proximity have only moments before SCP-4885 moves with impossible speed, forcing its way into their body through the mouth. What follows is a grotesque and inescapable death. The entity contorts, dislocates, and twists itself through the victim's internal organs, rupturing tissue, breaking bones, and shredding muscle until it violently exits through the pelvis. The process is agonizingly slow, ensuring maximum suffering before the victim ultimately perishes. The aftermath. SCP-4885-1. Instances. Once SCP-4885 has claimed a victim, the body undergoes a transformation that defies natural decomposition. Within hours, the corpse's skin is overtaken by intricate illustrations, each one mimicking the crowded, vibrant scenes from classic Where's Waldo? Books. Streets, parks, beaches, markets, all appear in vivid, colorful detail, yet with one chilling anomaly. Waldo is nowhere to be found. These bodies, now classified as instances of SCP-4885-1, remain disturbingly intact. Despite the passage of time, they do not decay in a conventional manner. The illustrations appear to shift slightly when not directly observed, as if something is moving within the scenes, just beyond the viewer's perception. Researchers have attempted to analyze these images in depth, but prolonged exposure has led to psychological distress, with some individuals claiming to see glimpses of Waldo, just for a fraction of a second, before he disappears again. Containment and Foundation efforts. Due to SCP-4885's teleportation abilities and the catastrophic consequences of locating it, containment remains one of the SCP Foundation's greatest challenges. Conventional tracking methods fail, as the entity appears to exist outside normal spatial and temporal constraints. Instead, the Foundation has employed advanced AI-driven surveillance systems to monitor reports of potential sightings. Social media posts, eyewitness accounts, and unexplained disappearances are continuously analyzed for patterns that might indicate SCP-4885's presence. In an effort to limit exposure, Strict containment protocols have been enacted. Instances are housed in heavily secured restricted access facilities. Personnel assigned to research these instances are rotated frequently to prevent long-term psychological effects. Experimentation involving direct interaction with SCP-4885 itself is strictly forbidden. Following multiple incidents where field agents vanished without a trace while attempting to track the entity. Protocol for encountering SCP-4885. Should you find yourself in the presence of SCP-4885, the single most critical rule is this: do not acknowledge its existence. Refrain from making direct eye contact, pointing it out, or speaking of it in any capacity. The very moment you consciously recognize SCP-4885, you seal your fate. Recommended course of action upon suspected proximity: resist the urge to search. If an inexplicable sense of unease washes over you, accompanied by the disquieting sensation of being watched, suppress any instinct to scan your surroundings. Actively seeking SCP-4885 vastly increases the probability of making direct contact, an outcome that must be avoided at all costs. Disregard anomalies. Should objects subtly shift when unobserved, if your perception of time and space begins to warp, or if you experience disorientation, do not react. These distortions are indicative of SCP-4885's presence, yet acknowledgement of such phenomena only strengthens its grip on reality, and on you. Avert your gaze. Should you inadvertently glimpse a figure resembling SCP-4885, look away immediately. Do not attempt to verify its presence, and above all, do not fixate on it. Prolonged observation appears to escalate the likelihood of a fatal encounter. Withdraw calmly and without hesitation. If you suspect SCP-4885 is nearby, remove yourself from the vicinity with quiet urgency. Do not flee or exhibit erratic behavior, as sudden movements may draw its attention. Your objective is to disappear into the environment without becoming a target. Remain silent. Uttering so much as a whisper regarding SCP-4885's presence could be enough to draw its notice. Even the act of communicating its location to another individual may be interpreted as recognition, binding you to an irreversible fate. Seek crowds, yet remain unremarkable. SCP-4885 frequently manifests within heavily populated areas, but its attention is drawn to those who stand apart. Blend in, move with purpose but without drawing scrutiny. Become just another face in the crowd. If you believe you have encountered SCP-4885 and successfully evaded its notice, submit an anonymous report to the SCP Foundation through secure channels. Exercise extreme caution in describing its location. Explicit details may carry unintended consequences. Final warning. Failure to adhere to these precautions will result in inescapable consequences. Once SCP-4885 has taken notice, no known method of avoidance or intervention can prevent what follows. The entity is relentless and its methods are absolute. SCP-4885 is always watching. The only true safeguard is to never look for it at all. If you think you found Waldo, run.